Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to Motor Soul. Hope you guys are doing well. So this video is all about the feeling of riding a Java or a ESD. So I'm riding the ESD Road King today, but that doesn't mean the Java doesn't feel like it. The Java, ESD, Classic, CL2, all the Javas and ESDs, all these motorcycles have a very different feeling that you don't get from a Japanese two-stroke motorcycle. So the first motorcycle that I got was the Blue RX 100, the 1989 model. And after I got my Blue RX 100, I saw a very different motorcycle that had dual silencers, and it was a Java. And at first I thought it is a super bike because I was brought up in Middle East and I did my schooling till 9th grade in Middle East, and I've seen Harley Davidsons, Hondas, Yamahas in Middle East. So you don't really see commuter motorcycles or smaller capacity motorcycles in those countries. But when I came to India in 9th standard, I saw a Java 250 at a mechanic's place near my home. So that is when I was curious to know if this was a super bike from the golden era. So that's when I inquired about the motorcycle, and it was a 250 Java, 250cc, and it had dual silencers, single cylinder, and the motorcycle actually looked so futuristic. I mean, it just feels like it could go fast. And I'm not saying it's not powerful, but गाड़ी ठहरी वक्त भी कितनी तेज जा रही है ऐसा दिखती स्पीड उसकी जावा की. So that is how it began for me and how I got into the Java and ESD. So, and after that I went for a long ride on my friend's Java, and it was a 300-kilometer ride, and that is the day when it kicked in and I realized that I need to get a Java for myself. And I did get a Java. This Road King is not mine. I borrowed it to make videos for some days. So it is a very different feeling. Once you ride a Java and ESD, that's when you become more mature. This is what I like to think about it. I mean, when I used to ride RX, I just wanted to go brap on every traffic signal, and every time I started the motorcycle, I just wanted to hit that top speed. It's all about the performance for the RX owners, right? But on an RX, you're not even satisfied when you're going 90, 100. I mean, you are riding at 100, but and even at those speeds, you're just pushing the limits. You just want to go faster than that. But on a ESD, you are satisfied with whatever you're doing. So this is what I've learned on Javas and ESDs. These motorcycles have taught me that you don't need to go fast to be satisfied in life. And even when I'm riding at 50 km/h speed, I'm just satisfied with whatever I'm doing. I don't want to go fast. It is, I'm doing 50 km/h speed on 3rd gear. I just switched to the 4th gear, and this bike, when you just let go of the throttle, क्या आवाज है, और मतलब it just gives you a beautiful feeling. एक अलग मजा है वो ये गाड़ी चलाने में. And that is the whole purpose of making this video. I'm sure I cannot put the feeling into words, because a feeling is a feeling. Feeling को गाड़ी चला के देख सकते, वीडियो में कैसा देख सकते. But the whole purpose of making this video is to make more people realize that there are more motorcycles that you should ride, and the Java and ESD is actually the most underrated motorcycle, I would say. Especially the electronic ones, the ESD Road Kings, and even the old beautiful Javas, they have a very distinctive character to it. So all these beautiful old motorcycles, no two motorcycles are same. So I've ridden many Road Kings, I've ridden many Javas, and my close friends Rizwan, Sohail, Hisham, Majaz, everyone has a Java, and trust me, every Java is very different. So whenever we go on a ride, when we take out all the 5 Javas and ESDs together, right, we ride each other's motorcycles, because every Java is different. Being 250cc, being the exact same model, it is very different. So that is the beauty of these old motorcycles. And all these motorcycles are so old that some motorcycles have been restored 5 or 10 times, and some are bone stock, never restored. So every bike has a different silencer. I mean, the silencer quality, the metal quality of the silencer is different, and altogether the whole motorcycle experience is different. So some motorcycles have a very different sound to it, and some motorcycles have a very smooth engine, some motorcycles have vibrations to it, but every motorcycle has a beauty, and it has a beautiful character to it. So just like human beings, these motorcycles are very different. So if you've ridden one Java, try the next Java, it would be certainly very different than the previous one. And this is my own experience. I've ridden many ESDs and Javas, and every time I get to ride a new Java or ESD, I never hesitate, because there is a very different character to these old motorcycles. These motorcycles are alive, if that is what I like to call it. And ये गाड़ियाँ चलाने का एक अलग मज़ा है, and especially when you're cornering on these motorcycles, the way you lean on these motorcycles is just absolutely beautiful. If you guys can see, it just pulls away amazingly. अब फोर्थ गियर में आया मैं, and that is the beauty of this motorcycle. एक जावा और एक एसडी में जो मज़ा है ना, वो आप RX में, RD में वो नहीं ला सकते. Those motorcycles are very different. ये ज़मीन है तो वो आसमान है, उतना फ़र्क है बीच में. And you get a very satisfying feeling. Even when I'm at 60, I'm not just downshifting and just pulling away. I'm not doing that, because the motorcycle, it's not telling me to do that. So ये जो फीलिंग है एक जावा और एसडी चलाने की, ये चलाना भाई, एक बार ये गाड़ी चलाना, ज़िंदगी में तो एक बार चलाना. अगर ये गाड़ी चलाए, एक ज़िंदगी भर का कीड़ा आया था. एंड ट्रस्ट मी, इफ़ यू एवर राइड अ जावा और एसडी, आई एम श्योर वो दिन से जब गाड़ी खरीदने की कोशिश करते, and it just gives you a kind of satisfaction that you don't get that on your RX, and that is because of obviously the engine, but it is also because this is a 250cc, and it's just doing 60 km/h at just 10% of the throttle. So it's very easy for a motorcycle to do this, and I'm very honored to have ridden these beautiful motorcycles. मेरे को मतलब मेरे दोस्तों की वजह से मैं जस्ट गाड़ी चला सक रहा हूँ. and everyone who has these beautiful motorcycles, don't you ever sell these beautiful motorcycles. These motorcycles are to be kept for a lifetime. Now if you guys didn't know, the Javas and ESDs, when they were sold, they used to have an ad and a slogan that said forever bike, forever value. And if this is not a forever bike, if this bike doesn't last for a lifetime, I don't think any motorcycle will. क्योंकि ये गाड़ी में the way the engineers have designed this motorcycle and the way it just runs, it has a very simple engine to it. It's not complicated, and the technology is very simple. When you ride a ESD, you have a very different feeling. You don't want to go fast every day, every time, but on a ESD, that is a very different feeling. And RX पे क्या होता मानम, अपन जब RX चलाते, तो everyone just wants to go brap once the signal opens. But on a ESD, you're more like a mature, a person from mid-30s, and you're just mature enough. You don't want to, just go fast. You want to enjoy the ride, and the ESD is just about that. It's about enjoying the ride, and it's about feeling the motorcycle and feeling the wind. एक satisfaction है ये गाड़ी चलाते वक्त जो आपको RX में और दूसरे Japanese motorcycles में नहीं मिलता. So all these old Japanese motorcycles, they are quite powerful, and this being a 250cc, it's not as powerful as a Japanese motorcycle. If it was a Japanese, I think the BHP would be double, but it's not about BHP on these motorcycles. ये जो आवाज़ है, and when you let go of the throttle, the bike just beats, but वो जो आवाज़ है, वाह, वो आवाज़ के पैसे गाड़ी में ये जो satisfaction है. So I normally ride a 2-stroke for the power, right? And so do you. But there are many instances when you ride a ESD or a Java at 40-50 km/h speed, and you are so happy. These bikes have a very beautiful feeling. अब खाली फीलिंग बोल रहा हूँ वीडियो में, लेकिन वाकई में ये गाड़ी में खाली फीलिंग है. And this beautiful exhaust note and the way it pulls, being a single cylinder, sounding so beautiful. And this exhaust note is not too loud. I mean, when you are going at 80-90 km/h speed, it's not going to be as loud as the RX. So this is quite a beautiful motorcycle, and it is very powerful indeed. And as you guys have seen, I just did 90, and that was not even on full throttle. I mean, I don't have to go on through full throttle. And this is what I want you guys to feel. Java SD कभी चलाओ जिंदगी में, और चलाए तो सिर्फ 2-3 किलोमीटर के लिए नहीं चलाओ, एक 30 किलोमीटर 40 किलोमीटर, if possible do a 200 kilometer ride, and then you'll understand the real meaning of riding a 2-stroke Java or a 2-stroke SD. And these motorcycles, they're so young at heart. Just open the throttle and it just pulls away. And even on uphills, I don't have to downshift. This is the kind of motorcycle I want to ride forever. Which मतलब है मेरा कि ये गाड़ी कभी भी चलाओ, you feel so young at heart. And I'm sure even when I'm 60 years old, if I ride this motorcycle, I would feel like a teenager again. So that's about it for this video. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about the feeling and what you feel about the Java and SD when you ride these motorcycles. And let me know in the comment section below if I should make more videos on these kind of topics. So that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Let's end this video with a beautiful exhaust note. I'm in 4th gear. I'm just pulling away just to see how this motorcycle feels. I just touched 100 and it actually feels so much powerful. ये जो satisfaction है ना गाड़ी में, बस इसके पैसे है ये गाड़ी में. ये गाड़ी का जो मज़ा है बस ये चीज़ के लिए. ये गाड़ी को आप चलाए बारी समझ सकते हैं मज़ा. Get in touch with your friends. मालूम करो कौन है वो गली में जिसके पास SD है, जिसके पास जावा है, उसकी गाड़ी लियो और एक बार चलाओ और मज़ा लियो ये गाड़ी का.